Now doing some more work on the headstock. I got the bearings, had some shims in, had to take, this one's alright, this one I had to take, I think, one shim out, and I polished up the shafts a little bit, and everything seems tight, nice. But I discovered something when I cleaned up this gear. It's got a repair on 2 teeth on this big gear, and what they did is they put a row of screws in, and then I'm guessing probably filed them to shape. But before I cleaned it up, of course, that was all caked with grunge and stuff and looked just like a tooth. But when you run it through, well, I don't have that fastened down yet, as you can tell. When I run it through, you can't even tell. They did a nice job. So both teeth on this, or both gears, have teeth repaired. I don't know how they would manage to do that unless they tried putting it in gear when it was running, maybe, or something. Don't know. But more progress. Getting the headstock reassembled. I got her bolted down on now, and things are coming along pretty good. Thought I'd show you how the adjustments made for, I guess, thrust adjustment, I guess you'd call it. This bearing is threaded, and by adjusting this, you take care of this backlash right there, like so. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of that together, put that bearing cap on there, and get that all set. I think I got the headstock all completed. Put the guards back on, put the tag back on, got all the bearings set, end play adjusted. Everything seems to work nicely. Back gears out, and then there's a bolt right here. You have to loosen and slide a wedge shaped piece up so it engages in this pulley, and then it makes it direct drive. And my son went to a yard sale, well, just a few years back, and got brand new oilers in a box for me. Thought they'd be appropriate. So I'm thinking, don't know whether I want to work on the carriage next or the motor assembly. Maybe the motor assembly. We'll get this end of it all done, then work our way that way. The old tag cleaned up pretty nice. Oops, a little bit much. And the other tag for the gears, I wish I could tell a little better what it meant. I don't understand it, but maybe I will once I get things going. There's some kind of marking up here, and then these are the number of teeth on the gears. I'm assuming that's the position, but I don't know what's what. But probably never cut any threads on it anyways. I'll just pick a speed that's going to be good for a fine cut, and then go from there. I know this isn't related to the lathe, but over the weekend my son's father-in-law gave me this container, and it says milling machine cullets on it. I haven't looked in there yet, and it's full. But I don't recognize them. Let's dump them out. Well, there's one I recognize. There's one. And another. Oh yeah, I like the bottom. Okay. Now, R8s. I don't see a size on there. 7/16. Let's see a size on that one. 5/8. Another 7/16. Don't see a size, but it looks about like 3/8. And there's a 3/8. 1/2 inch. 1/8 inch. 3/4. 1/2 inch. No size. 5/16. That's probably 8. Nah. 1/8 or 3/16. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 R8. Nice. Now these ones I don't recognize. I'm not sure what they might fit. Let's see, it says something. It's nice that they were oiled up a little bit. W and S number 1, 7/16. I don't see a size on that one. Oh, 5/16. W and S. So I have to do some research, but I thought as long as this was machinery related, maybe you guys would like to see them. So them I can use. These I'll have to do some research on. Took a few minutes and stood these on end so I could see what they were. There's a pretty good variety of sizes here. The ones that are marked. This looks like the biggest one. It says 19/32. That one or this one. Oh, it's on there. 5/8. And the smallest one, 1/8. And there's two that are hex shaped and one that's square. I've seen on here 3/16, 1/4 inch, and 5/16 square. So, like I said, I got to research and find out what they actually fit. Or if anybody's watching those, let me know. Oh, I also took 15 minutes and made a little rack for these so I can set them in my drawer with the rest of them. Only took 15 minutes and sure makes it a lot easier to select one. So back to the lathe. Okay, I'm working on the mount for the secondary pulley, step pulley I guess you'd call it. And The original one was kind of a not very good. So I decided that I would take a piece of I-beam, start me out, and I used their original holes. And of course when I put it on there it was crooked. So I wound up milling slots in where these bolts are so I can tip it a little bit. So then when I started mocking it up, I'm short here for what I want to do. So I'm cutting a piece off over here in the bandsaw. And I'll have to pop this back off and weld it on there. So that's the project I'm working on now. I'm to the point now where in the design of my motor mount, and that would be nice to have a belt. And I found some leather belting, old stuff that I've saved. Looks kind of rough, but I think it's got some life in it yet. And I've got this belt lacer thing that I've had for years, and I don't think I've ever used it. I'm not even sure I know how to use it. And I've got some lacing, and it's, according to the box it came in, it's like a size too big for this belt. But it's all I got, so I'm gonna give it a try. So I'm thinking that what you do is I cut a section off of there that's the width of the belt, and there's some slots in here, and I think you shove it in there in them slots, and then there's a little pin that goes in here and holds them all in place. Okay, so then I'm assuming that you take this paper stuff off of there. Somehow. There's one of them. And I got my little sharp pointy thingamabobbers on them. There. And then this top piece kind of got a little ratchet deal on the back of it. Now the belt goes, I don't know if it goes there, maybe there, I don't know if it makes a lot of difference. So try to get that as centered as I can and held in there nice and square. No, I don't think the belt goes down there. I think it goes over top. Yeah, that centers it a lot better. Okay, it looks pretty centered. Now I'm just going to push this down and get it started. And then this is kind of like a ratchet deal back there. And these handles, squish that down. And then you keep ratcheting it down a little at a time. feels like that got real firm. Let me try one more. Okay, let's see. Try one more. Now I can pull a pin. See what we got. Looks like it might work. So those come right on through and they fold over, so I can see how that can really grip. Alright, just got to do the same thing to the other end, and then it comes with this stuff here to make the pin out of. Alright, I'll get the other side done and hopefully we'll have a belt. Well, I guess I successfully spliced a belt. This is all just temporary to get the feel for how things are going to go. Good thing I got lots of vice grips, so I got 2, 4, 6, 8 of them on there. So now that I got the belt length established, I can go to work on creating and making permanent some of the other parts of it. Okay, still working on the mock-up of the drive. I got some more pieces in the final length and position. Got rid of most of my vice grips. I got these parts welded on. I got this welded on down here. It seems really sturdy, and I got the motor set up there just to see that's what's going to tension the belt, and it looks like it's putting pretty good tension on it, so I think it's going to work. I still got to figure this out, and of course this shaft is way long yet, and it's going to stick out over here for the drive. But I just thought I'd show you how I'm coming. Okay, I'm turning down the shaft for the secondary step pulley. The reason I'm doing that is 1-inch shaft. I don't have a very good selection of pulleys in case I don't like the spades, so I'm going to turn it down to 5/8 where I have a few pulleys to choose from. Okay, got the shaft turned down, cutting keyway in it now. I'm just holding the camera, that's why it's wiggling all over. Probably get a key and give it a try. Took one more light pass. Well, with the use of 8 vice grips again, I was able to do a mock-up before I make the final plan, I guess you would say. So let me stick you on the tripod and I'll turn it on for you. Alright, here we go. And change the speed. Just lift up on that. Slide the valve over. All I gotta do is finalize it. Okay, I got the back gears in now. So that's gonna be the slowest speed. That's pretty slow. And the gears sound pretty decent. They sound quieter than the one on my newer lathe. Hopefully once this belt gets used a little bit, it'll quit the bouncing around. Oh, we got reverse too. Okay, still working on this. I got marked where I'm going to drill and tap for my pillow blocks. I've got marked where the motor is going to go. I put a stop here, maximum. It can go that way. And I put a piece across here to stop it from tipping down in case the belt or something would break. That's as far as it can go. And then I made a pin that's going to go in here. I don't know if I can do it with one hand. Let's see. If I put that all the way up, yeah. Okay, that pin goes in there, and that's going to keep tension off the belt so it's a little bit slack. I probably won't be using this a lot, so it's going to be setting. There isn't any point in having tension on that belt all the time and stretching it out or whatever. No, don't know if it's necessary, but thought it'd be a good idea. I'm also working on the motor. I got it cleaned up, threw some paint on it, sitting there drying, and I've got the forward and reverse control disassembled here, and there's 4 wires going to the motor, and I've got them marked so I don't have to try to figure that out again. And I've got some 4-wire 16 cable right here, which I'm going to run from the motor down to, I think I'm going to locate that switch possibly right here. That way it'll be handy to reach it. So that's what I'm working on. Now when I want to change speeds on this, it's kind of hard to get a hold of anything and pull down on that to loosen the belt, so I come up with this this idea here. Just a little handle that slides out. I can get some leverage with it. Goes back out of the way. I think that'll work out okay. Now, I think I got it all finalized. Got the switch on, everything's wired up. Everything's tightened up for trial. Forward. Reverse. I'm going to have to find the right coupler for the belt because it makes a little bump in it, but it'll do for now. Now I can tear it all apart to paint it. Well, I got the motor mount painted, put back together. I think I'm going to work on the Briggs project for a bit. Got this portion of this done. I still got the carriage and the tailstock to do yet, and figure out gear setup for the lead screw, and I was messing with it, turning it on and off and forwards and backwards, and I guess I stressed it. I put it up on the highest speed and turned it on, and it had so much starting torque, I guess it broke my belt. So I think I'm going to look into one of them. I think they're polyurethane you can buy, and you just meld it together, and they say it's real nice, gets good traction, and it'll be quiet because there won't be that seam in there. I don't really have the right lacing for leather belts, so I'm gonna call this a video for this portion of the lathe project, and we'll see you again soon. Please subscribe.